Here we go. Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday, and welcome back to Creatrix Sunday School. This is where we gather right here on Instagram every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. My name is Maria Leandra. You can call me MA. And I'm just going to wait a second here to make sure that this is recording and going live and all the good stuff. So, today, I'm inspired. I'm going to tell you in a second what I'm inspired to talk about. Thanks to those of you who are joining live and those of you who watch the replay, wherever it is that you catch the replay. Welcome. Hey, Dawn. Oh, it's so good to see you here. Mwah, mwah. Sending you love. So today we're going to talk about the color green. And wait for it, because there's more to that. But before that, I want to make sure to invite everybody to join us over in the Rise of the Creatrix community. Go to riseofthecreatrix.com to sign up. You can also go via the link in my bio, and we have an amazing community there that we're fostering with healers, trailblazers, artists, activists, incredible visionary women and men up to great things. Primarily women, but there are some guys there. It's absolutely incredible. Plus, we have our first inaugural Rise of the Creatrix live event. This is going to be a very big, beautiful, immersive, interactive 3-day live experience happening on February 11th, 12th, and 13th. We're kicking it off with the new moon in Aquarius, which is powerful because it's the new moon in Aquarius. New moons are always a wonderful time for sparking new things into existence, but also there's some other things happening astrologically, which you'll find out about more when we get together. Plus, there's a vast collection of speakers and interactive opportunities and activities for us to really gather and co-create something really, really beautiful. So all of that will happen in the Rise of the Creatrix space. So let's get right into today's Sunday school topic. We're going to talk about green. And the reason why is because green, which is not a color that I would naturally gravitate towards, has been calling me and within my sphere, my essence, my energy for some time. I would say it kind of, I pointed back probably the first moment of green being like, oh, hi, I'm here, was when we moved into this new house. This is our office space, and this color was painted when we moved in. And we're renting this place. So the owners had this color, and Jules and I, walked in and was like, oh, it's nice. We'll probably change it, but it's okay. For now, it's okay. And as I sat with it, it kind of grew on me. And again, it wouldn't be a color that I would naturally pick for the walls. I probably would have gone with something like a lightish gray or something like that. So here we are. This is the first instance that I was like, oh, this is green. And then green has continued to show up for me in other ways. And not just for me, but I've also had recently a comment, someone in Rise of the Creatrix, Diamela, she posted that she was going through oracle cards and she picked one that had the color green and what it meant for her and everything. And I said, oh my God, there's a synchronicity there. The other really powerful thing that happened to me was in a meditation, I'd say about 2 weeks ago. It's beautiful immersive meditation where I was connecting with Hathor, an Egyptian goddess. Towards the end of the very immersive experience, I saw my hands and I saw this color green on my fingernails. And it was so vivid. I looked down at my hand. I mean, I was, eyes closed. I was in the journey. I looked at my hands and I had this color green, which again is not a color I would naturally gravitate towards. But I said, okay, I hear that, I get that. And so I actually went and looked for the color green that I saw in my meditation and have been wearing it since then on and off. And so I wanted to bring in the essence of what I believe green is trying to show us during this time. There's almost like a code here. There's some energy embedded in the Creatrix consciousness around the color green. And here in this space, what I aim to do, my intention is to help us awaken our Creatrix consciousness. The Creatrix turns light into form. This is primarily what we do through many different ways. But if you were to kind of capture it in a nutshell, we turn light into form. And color, of course, the green is a color that represents hope, that represents the sense of course, it's the heart chakra color. It represents growth, it represents spring, it represents fertility. And so this word fertility keeps coming up from the standpoint of fertility of ideas and fertility of creation. And so what I'm encouraging us to do as we enter this new week, we are growing, and it's a really fertile space, but it's a fertile space to grow the seeds that are really new, not the seeds you thought you were going to grow, not the seeds somebody expects you to grow, but the seeds that feel completely new and, dare I say, kind of radical. Radical in the sense that they feel like you're stretching more into the unknown of what your soul is calling you to step into. So I want you to think, as you listen to this, what are some of the new seeds that your soul is calling you forth to birth? And even at this moment, if possible, if you're not driving and if you're in a safe space, just close your eyes for a moment. And we'll go into just a quick channeled meditation here. We'll see what comes up around the color green and around planting the seeds in this very fertile soil. It's this cosmic, delicious, fertile soil, and planting the seeds of something that your soul is calling you into that maybe probably doesn't seem logical, doesn't seem practical, but just sit with that for a moment. Just breathe into that. Just breathe into, and I want you to imagine and infuse the color green, the essence of green, and give it its own sensory experience. So when you experience the color green, what does it feel like? What does it sound like? What does it taste like? What is the texture? Just bring in all of your senses into connecting with the essence of green and what green might be trying to show you. And think about and step into a space of knowing how fertile the time is right now to plant the seeds of what you're ready to co-create with the universe and what you're ready to create. Creatrix consciousness also always shows us that the sweet spot is where we sit between our inner drive and our divine wisdom, our divine feminine and our divine masculine. We sit in the space where we combine all of the energies. And so green, and if you think about plants and you think about that moment when the seed, you've planted it in the ground and it's about to burst through like the top soil. Think about that moment and the amount of trust, right? The amount of trust, because it's sitting there in the darkness. It's just doing what it was meant to do. And the amount of actual focus that goes into doing that action. Like it actually takes okay, we're going to do this. The seed doesn't just sit back and go, oh, this is getting kind of hard right now. Let me just kind of shrink back. It's designed to grow. It's designed to burst through that top soil and then be in that space of oh my gosh, here we go. And then the sun and everything continues to impact it to keep growing and growing. So imagine, again, when you tap into the seeds of what you're ready to create, that you're planting them right now in a soil that is oh so fertile, that is oh so primed for you to, and the thing with the energy right now is it's really about something that is calling that's very new, that's very much maybe not what you're used to. There's this, and also, and I'll weave in a little bit of the astrology that's happening in this week. So right now the sun has been conjunct Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of this wisdom. Saturn is the planet of kind of getting things done from a standpoint of what you're learning in the world. And so it's been conjunct Saturn, and now on Thursday, it will be conjunct Jupiter. The sun that I was hearing from an astrologer, I was watching something yesterday, she said, the sun and the Jupiter weren't even conjunct last year in 2020. And now in 2021, right at the beginning of the year, right in January, they're conjunct on the 28th, this next Thursday, with a full moon in Leo. And Leo is the sign of the lion, confidence, this also connected to solar power, to that essence of your solar chakra, that essence of, like, here we go, creativity, using your voice. The lion energy is about, roaring from a place of what you stand for, what you believe in, creating, expressing yourself. So what a powerful, beautiful combination. It's actually it's called, when the sun and Jupiter are conjunct, it's called the luckiest day of the year. That's what they call it. And so the luckiest day of the year is happening on January 28th. It happens to be during this full moon in Leo, which is calling us towards like roaring from a place of our truth, what we believe in. And so my invitation would be for you, if this resonates, is to actually incorporate the color green into your life this week. And I'd love to, if you do end up wearing anything green or have anything specifically green in your house for this week, post a picture and tag me, because I'd love to see it, and we can just kind of like keep this energy going, because for whatever reason, this color is calling us into a space of fertility, creation, and anchoring into that and knowing how very possible it is for you to create anything that you are intending at this point. And also trusting that the seeds that you plant will take some time to germinate, and you get to continue tending them, which is where the inspired action and the momentum continues to play its part to build what you've planted. And so, of course, I'd always love to hear how this resonates for you in the comments, if you find any of this like lights up something for you. And my commitment is that I will always, in this space, especially in Creatrix Sunday School and everything that I do, but here in this space, I'm really looking to share whatever has been coming up for me that seems like, okay, we got to talk about that. So even though talking about a color kind of feels random, it actually feels completely perfect. And so bring in the energy of the color green. Tap into what it brings you in the space of growth, fertility, the sense of hope. It's also a color that brings in the sense of calm, the sense of, and again, think about nature and the incredible amount of trust, the commitment that nature has to continue bursting through. We're also about to celebrate Imbolc on February 1st or 2nd, I believe, and the feast of St. Bridget on February 1st. Bridget, the goddess Bridget, she's a Celtic goddess, and she represents Imbolc, this sense of hearth. It's not quite the beginning of spring, but it's like the beginning of spring. It's almost like the beginning of the runway up to spring, up to when you will begin to see those first plants and those first green shoots like poke through the snow and begin to emerge from the trees. And so that in itself is also very powerfully calling us forth into the space of fertility. Bridget and Saint Bridget, interestingly enough, have been coming up for me a lot over these past week and a half. And it's been incredible because I feel the presence of that. And they represent the hearth. They represent the sense of light. Saint Bridget was called the Saint of Exalted Light. And Bridget, the goddess Bridget, which Saint Bridget was derived from the Celtic goddess Bridget, she also has this eternal flame. And so also inviting you to light a candle for fertility, to light a candle for your own growth, for what you get to bring forth into the world. And to trust from a standpoint of knowing that when you align your inner drive with your divine wisdom, incredibly amazing things can and will happen. And that we get to turn light into form. So I hope that served you guys this week. I have a really special workshop that I'm weaving together. I'm prepping for Thursday, for the luckiest day of the year, because it's a really, really particularly special day to plan your vision. So I'm actually planning a workshop to plan your vision for 2021, and the details for that will be in the Rise of the Creatrix community. So make sure if you're interested in that to come join us. It's a free community. And the details for that workshop will be there. And of course, additional conversations on everything that we are sharing in the space. Hi, Yvonne. Oh my God. Yes. Excited for the 28th and to wear your green. Tag me when you do. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Oh my God. What a delight. What a delightful surprise to see you here. All right, everybody. So wear your green this week. Remember that the 28th is the luckiest day of the year because Jupiter, which is the benefic planet. Jupiter is the planet that says, yes, you can. Yes, let's do it. It amplifies everything it touches. So Jupiter is conjunct the sun in the full moon in Leo. And Leo is so connected to the sun shining bright and the color yellow. So also think about yellow and that sort of bright, that spark. Think about the spark of fertility this week, the spark of fertility. And look towards from today on to the 28th and even a couple of days beyond, but especially today towards the 28th, to plan something really powerful that you're ready to bring into fruition. Something that you are ready to sprinkle in that, let's call it cosmic fertility. So here we go, my friends. Let's make this a really magnificent week ahead. I have a feeling that a lot of magic is going to happen behind the scenes that we will see later on as the year progresses. So here's to your mindset, magic, and momentum, your wisdom, your freedom, and your truth. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing. And I'll see you next Sunday in this space, Creatrix Sunday School, and of course around. And I really do hope to see you in Rise of the Creatrix space. Link is in my bio. Mwah! Be well, my friends. Adios.